Hello everyone, and welcome to my channel and first ever YouTube video. I wanted to make this video because I wanted to put my sister and my Song of Ice and Fire theories out there, and I suck at writing, so I thought a video would be the way to go. Here it goes. First, I wanted to shout out a couple of YouTube Song of Ice and Fire content creators that I really enjoy. I don't think I can mention them all because I can't remember them all, but a couple of them in no particular order are Radio Westeros, The History of Westeros, um, Quinn's Ideas, LML, Joe Magician, Teflon TV, Indie Geek, and so on. Okay, so my first theory um, video that I wanted to make was about the Night's Queen because I think that the Night's Queen is a very important White Walker because she's the only female White Walker, and I think that that is significant. Also, one of the reasons that I think it might be that the White Walkers are ruled by a queen is that George R. R. Martin, the writer of the amazing series Song of Ice and Fire, um, described the White Walkers as frozen she. And she, for those who do not know, are fairy creatures from Irish and British folklore and mythology. And the she, in many stories, are described as a matriarchal society. They are ruled by queens. Those queens are very close to nature, and they are very beautiful and very tempting and extremely dangerous. They people don't come out of it in a good way when they encounter those queens, and I think that the how they describe the queens in fairy lore is very similar to how the only female White Walker is described. She is very beautiful, very tempting, because the 13th Lord Commander of Night's Watch couldn't resist her beauty when he spotted her from atop the wall, and she seems also very dangerous. So that is kind of a clue for me to um, really think about that. Also, the Shi are known for stealing babies and being appeased by sacrifice. If you leave some thing outside of your door that they like, um, they won't bother you, but otherwise they can steal your baby. And I think that the baby stealing story, it reminds me of Craster in Craster's Keep. He sacrifices his male babies. Of course, they're sons, they're male, but okay, um, not going into that. Um, but he, yeah, sacrifices his sons to be left alone by the White Walkers, by the others, and I think this is kind of similar to the She story, and George R. R. Martin mentioned She in combination with the White Walkers, so I think we could look into those stories further. Also, the She are known for their longevity and their problems with procreation. They are not that fertile, so that would explain why there are not massive amounts of White Walkers that were created in those 8,000 years since the Long Night. It's such a long time. If they have no trouble procreating, they would be numbers would be uncountable. It seems that they might not procreate that much and quickly. Um, So, and I think I an idea I got from Quinn's ideas. He mentioned on a live stream. I don't know on which channel that live stream was, but he mentioned in one of his one live stream that the idea of ice golems, and that he thought that the White Walkers might be ice golems. I don't know how serious he was about that, but he mentioned it, and that started me thinking about that. If you create an ice golem, it's lifeless. It doesn't have anything. You need to activate the golem. And I think that if only death can pay for life, you need to sacrifice someone to make the golem move, make it come to life. And I think that maybe that's what the babies are for. I think that they are sacrificed to make the White Walkers, the ice golems. And I think that the queen makes those ice golems, sacrifices the babies, and then puts another spirit inside of the White Walker, a spirit that has the same agenda as she has, or thinks he has the same agenda as she has. I don't know if it's true, because that's a bit too specific, and I don't think I can be that specific because there's not a lot of information. Um, but yeah, I think that if you have to put spirits in them, you have to get those spirits, and I think that after the signing of the pact between the children of the forest and the first men, not everyone agreed with the peace treaty, and maybe some children of the forest went north to find a power, something, a weapon that could make, yeah, that help them win, help them annihilate the first man. And I think they found that in the heart of winter. And maybe it was the queen herself or a power, but I think that she has the power to pull some spirits from the weirwood and put them in the ice golems in some magical way. So I think that the White Walkers are children of the forest, spirits who didn't, from children of the forest who didn't agree with the whole pact. Um, yeah, and also George R. R. Martin has said that the White Walkers um, have a society, but maybe not a society that we would recognize. And I think that it might be a hive, like in some sci-fi stories, like Stargate Atlantis. You have the Wraith, and the Wraith are ruled by queens, and those queens make new Wraith, and they soldiers and drones. The soldiers have their own thoughts, but they are still ruled by the queen, and I think she can give them commands, and they don't really refuse. And there are also drones, which are more like whites. They don't have any agency. They are they do what they are told, what they are instructed to do, what they are, however they get it into their brain, what they have to do, they do. I think that that is similar to the whites. So I was starting to think that maybe it was a hive society, and same with the Borg and Star Trek, and other um, stories. They think it may be like that, that they are a hive which is ruled by a queen, and that they are children of the forest inside, but the outside magic, the shell which they live in, the White Walkers, are made by some other ice magic. So, yeah. So that is my theory. Oh no, there's one other thing that I wanted to mention, because I was rereading A Song of Ice and Fire, and I was in a Clash of Kings. And in the Clash of Kings, Bran and Osha were talking about the Kings of Winter, and Osha says Winter has no kings, and I think that it may be significant also, because Osha seems to know a bit more about the old gods and the others and things that are happening north of the wall, and I think that we should pay attention to what she says. So, okay, that's the whole thing. I think maybe I left something out, but I don't know. Um, so if you like this video, please like the video and share and subscribe to my channel. I have a couple of other theories about Azor Ahai, Nissa, Bloodstone Emperor, Weirwoods, and I really wanted to share those as well. So look forward to more videos on those subjects, and I hope I see you people in the comment section to maybe discuss the theory I shared with you in this video. I hope you all have a great day, and bye.